Do it.
You start with that.
I don't know. Oh, you need how to do that. Anyway, guys, welcome to
What's
the
up? What's
Cosmic.
up? Welcome to another episode. I haven't introduced in a long time, so I'm
Awesome.
going to introduce today. Welcome back to another episode of the Cosmic Adults. Ian Altsar, the Freedom Astrologer, Mercedes Ann, energy
Energy
healer
duo. Okay.
person.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, energetic duo. I like that. I like that. We're the Cosmic Adults. We are here to blow your minds, as we've said multiple times. We've said multiple times. We're here to bring joy, good energy, positive shit, and changes into your life. We're looking forward to this episode. We do have, up until now, we haven't really prepared any topics exactly. We've just kind of been going with the flow, allowing like the universe to bring whatever comes to our brains and talk about that. But we do have a topic again today that kind of came up. And so yeah, Ian, what is the best advice that you've ever received?
I just want to say, I just want to do this again. It's an awesome introduction. Awesome, kind of like leading us into this. I think you should do it more often. And yeah, this is a good topic. And my, let's say, advice is very common, very simple, but I think it's so undervalued and it's so almost like hidden. And it's, people want something special, they want something big, they want something, oh, it can't be this simple, it has to be, wild or like very, woo. They put all these kind of meanings onto it. But like for me, the best advice has been, do unto others what you want done to you. And that, when I kind of read it, I can't even
Ooh,
remember. It was Gandhi or whoever. I can't
I
remember.
think that's JC.
Like Jesus.
Yeah, I think that's the man,
If it's
Joshua Ben
Jesus,
Joseph.
that's awesome. But like for me, when I was, when I heard this, I had already kind of like been blown open spiritually, all the spiritual awakening, the Kundalini. I was kind of like whirling around there with energy and everything, and I was, kind of confused about it as well. But like this little piece of advice, so simple, so freaking underrated, changed everything of how I approach life, how I approach relationships, how I approach, just like showing up on the streets, going to the store, every business, everything. I think it's really important in business as well. If we're, being really honest, especially important in relationships, and the business is a lot about building relationships, showing up, etc., doing onto others what you want to be done onto you.
Mm-hmm.
So this is one of the most important pieces of advice that I've ever gotten, and
That's
I've,
actually
used.
so interesting because like in my line of work that I do, I see a lot of different people. And I used to see this one individual who had a really big construction company, like well known, really big. And like I had even known when I was like not even in anyways. And I asked him, I was like, so what do you think it was about your business that made you become so big? Because obviously, like at that time, I had just become a sole proprietor running my own business out
Mhm.
of nowhere. And I was
Mhm.
like, what do you do? Like, how do you do that? And that's exactly what he said. He's like, I think it's that anytime I had an opportunity to screw someone over or be sneaky or whatever, I never did it ever. And I was like,
That's
huh,
awesome.
yeah. And the dude had like a wicked company that always got all the bids on all the job, the energy of the company was there. And I think I mean integrity it
Integrity.
essentially
Yeah.
is what that leads up to, which is actually one of my core values.
Mm.
Yeah. So I think it works. I think it works in all avenues of life. I really love that advice, like big time.
Extremely important, I think, and especially in the today's world where I think some of that is starting to slip a little bit. And yes, of course, in a lot of ways, in maybe smaller circles, I would say it's making a comeback, to treat people like that. But I've
Mhm.
seen, observed, read, heard all sorts of stories, and I've seen like the almost like the quick buck, or like the opportunity to screw somebody over, and the people take it, which is very unfortunate because I don't think that's a long term game. And if we're talking about business and building wealth or capital or abundance, whatever you want to call it, it should be always like the long game.
Mhm.
Um,
Totally.
yeah,
Isn't that Gary Vaynerchuk?
it
Him?
is.
Like
He talks
he
a lot
talks a
about
lot
it.
about that.
He
Yeah.
talks a lot about it.
I like Gary V. Like, there's definitely everyone's got their stuff, but like I really like his content and I always have. I think I've learned a lot from watching him.
I, I totally agree. I think one of the things he does really well, he really focuses and understands that people are unique. We have these unique gifts, and it's really important that you don't listen to all the noise that is coming your way, and you just focus and understand and try do your best to understand what is happening, who are you, what can you use, and what are your gifts, and what are you
Hmm.
freaking interested in, and what makes you happy and joyous, and put that into business, or creating things in the world. It sounds so, again, simple, and I know a lot of people who are maybe
Hmm.
in harder places. It's hard to listen to that. It seems so simple. It's kind of like seems corny a little bit, maybe new agey, whatever you want to call it, put names on it. But that thing really works if you do it, and if you do it repeatedly, you understand who you are. You make sense of who you are, and you put that out into the world. You help people. That's doesn't have to be some weird crazy thing. It can be
Well,
very
even
simple.
yeah, even if you help one person,
Yeah, even if you help only one person.
that's still making a difference in the world. I think that's so valuable. People underestimate themselves. Um, my best advice that I ever received was it's like a combo of like two things. It was like the first one is if nothing changes, nothing changes. And then the other similar lines is like if you want something you've never had, you need to do something you've never done. And like your new life is going to cost you your old life. Like the along similar lines of advice where it's like basically you're in control, you're in the driver's seat as well as you have to change. You can't remain the same if you want your life to be different. And that's just basically been a big theme in my life.
And you want to know what the common denominator of all of these that we've been discussing is? They're all very simple, yet very,
Mm.
very hard to do. So, like you said, like you have to do something different. People don't like to do different because different means they have to start, step out of the comfort zone. They have to start
Mm.
feeling uncomfortable to get the new thing. But it feels so much. This is the
Why?
this is yeah. Well, this is the
Yeah,
reason
go for
why
it. Go.
it's so hard for them to do it. It's like staying in the old thing feels like good in a way, but it's
Mm.
also leading to more and more suffering constantly, constantly, constantly.
Okay. I want to, it's
Wild.
like, it's safe, but is it?
No.
It's not. You're no more safe if you have belief A than if you have belief B. That's it. You're no more safe. So you might as well have a good time. Might as well enjoy. Might as well bring in new energy and enjoy everything.
Yeah, guys. Because even when I'm listening to right now us and kind of talking about it, and a lot of people, you can hear it in podcasts, you can hear it in blogs, you can hear it in videos. You can't do the same things, or do unto others and blah blah blah. But like for me, the biggest thing is taking that simple advice, important advice, and actually doing it in the world and
Like
repeatedly.
translating it
Like
into your life.
you're translating it, but you have to take the action with it. Repeatedly do it. This means, like the guy said, like every time you get that opportunity to screw somebody over, don't do it. And for some people, that's hard, but you have to do it over and over and over again.
Mm-hmm.
And like you said, change or
Well, and
doing
it's
new things
yeah. And
similar.
it's like, why do you think those temptations arise? Just for kicks? No. Your
Pumped up kicks.
soul, your soul, your soul is asking you a question. Who are you?
Oh, that's a nice one.
So these things, these temptations, these whatevers, these opportunities for growth are just that. It's an opportunity to externally express who you are internally.
Hmm.
Ghost?
Cat. The cat dramatically entered the room.
As cats do.
I'll leave you like 30 seconds. You have to carry it. I have to close the show or door.
Oh my goodness. Now I feel so alone. Um, no, I don't actually feel alone. I can't do it. I can't do it. I can't do it without you.
That's a belief.
I was like, I had nothing in my brain to say. I was like, rather would wait. Oh my goodness. So, and then I think also, I mean, maybe this leads us also into something that we've talked about before, maybe not in such depth, but the importance of having mentors in your life and like people that will tell you this advice, people that will offer these things to you and teach you. I pretty much see every single person in my life as an opportunity for expansion of my consciousness because I'm like, what can you teach me? Just let it happen, man.
I just cat is going crazy right now, and I don't like it because I would like to focus on this, and I have to like listen to the cat jumping door open, which is very extremely annoying.
Why?
Because the baby and the fiance are sleeping, and the cat is making a lot of noise, which isn't good at all. Especially have a sick 1 year old like trying to sleep and heal.
Oh
And
man.
it's like a collaboration of many things right now, which is making the situation a tiny bit, a tad
It's
bit
a
annoying for
it's a
me.
compound situation.
It is. And yeah, I think I have to do something, but I don't know exactly what to do.
Hmm. Maybe we can find out psychically what's going on in your cat's mind and what your cat would like.
I think
Have you
that's
ever done that?
no, I haven't ever.
So, animal communication is in pictures. So, it's in imagination. So, obviously, you're not going to go burrowing into your cat's brain. You have to ask permission from their soul and what they want, and then ask inside your mind, picture yourself ask like with the intention of asking, what do you want? but not words. Does that make sense?
I think so. I think so.
Or what do you need? And
Now
then
she,
see what she says to you in pictures. Let her project it into your mind.
I have to do that. I think I have to start doing it at least in some shape or form. Right now, she calmed down, luckily. But like, I
Yeah,
think
because she's
that's a
being acknowledged. Because I linked in with her.
mm, good. Yeah,
She's fine.
she
She's
should be.
bossy.
She's very spoiled and
She's
bossy.
very bossy. Yeah, very, very bossy.
I love her so much, but like
Yeah.
sometimes she annoys me so much,
Does
and it's
she like to be pet while she eats?
mm, it's very strange with her. She only likes to be kind of like petted or touched when she decides to.
Mm.
It's like very it's she has a very difficult personality, I would say, and eats.
Hmm.
I'm not sure.
Yeah, she wants energy right now for sure.
There are like moments during the day when she comes, and I know when she comes and she's like meow meow, and I always take the time to give her that energy. And but like some days she wants it more,
Hmm.
and sometimes she comes in the middle of the night when I'm sleeping, and I'm like f off, like f
That's the
off.
best. Love that. Love that.
I'm just so annoyed, especially
When
when
they
I
paw
have
your face, like, well,
yeah
now you know, just clear your mind and allow her to just show you what she actually wants, because it might be different from what you think.
yeah.
I think her back's actually a little bit sore, if I'm being honest.
Hmm. I'll give it a go later
You got this.
tomorrow if
How
she
fun
just
is it to have like these little companions though, hey?
it's amazing. I have two. I think you have two as
I
well,
have two. Yeah.
or we have two, and they're amazing. Like they're
Hmm.
mostly amazing, but there are like small things that they sometimes do. Then it's like so freaking inappropriate time for to do that, and they still do it, and I'm like, you're like, I just want to kind of like teach them manners in those
Yeah.
situations, but there's no point. They
Having
get
boundaries. Yeah.
boundaries or
Well,
something.
you know what? Maybe once you guys get a little bit more of a psychic connection, it might get a little easier. Um, my cat lately has been knocking the treat jar off the coffee table. Like, hello, give me a treat now. Like, that's rude.
I think that's one of the things that really annoys me about cats. It's like they think it's like their time, so that's their time. Immediately you have to do it. Otherwise, they will make it worse and worse and worse and worse. It's like, yo, wait a second, but they, they have no
Yo.
awareness of that. Oh,
Oh,
cats.
yeah, cats are the best. I think they're the best. Oh,
Your cat?
mine just started meowing outside the door too.
Cat, cat cast or something. Cat
So
pod.
cats do something cool. They guard you in the night. They are protectors. I think people really underestimate cats.
I tend to agree. I've seen a lot of that actually happen, and it sometimes really happens, during middle of the night. And I am obviously when you're tired and want to sleep, it sometimes can be a little bit annoying, but at the same time you remember that, and I think you've shared a lot of posts and stuff like that on social
Hmm.
media around that as well. and I've kind of like started to understand that more. When they do something specific, it's some type of energy they're coming in that not supposed to be there, or kind of like, there really are kind of like, I would say, like almost like energetic protectors of the
Oh yeah,
household or the family. It's
big
really
time.
interesting.
And if you have like a really overweight cat, usually that cat is just taking on all the energy,
Mm,
all the
interesting.
gross energy, and they're protecting you that way because they feel like loyalty to you. Usually, that's a blanket statement. There's all kinds of different things that can be going on, but usually cats that are overweight, there's really a lot of negative energy in that home. So if you got a fat cat,
Start clearing.
start doing some energy clearing, see what happens. Because my one cat, he used to be really overweight, really overweight. And now he's like nimble paws. He's sleek, he's aerodynamic.
Hmm.
But, there was a lot of negative energy in my house. And now there isn't.
Oh well. Making
Uh,
choices, making good choices, making good
yeah. How do
decisions.
you manage the energy in your house? Like what do you do?
Very good question. I do like to, when I go to bed, before kind of like drifting off, I like to call in uh, what I connect to and call like the white light of Christ. Um, and I think for me, I really, feel connected to Christ consciousness in general and overall. And I think you know some of the stories. And it kind of like, I make a bit of a like a bubble almost, kind of visualize a bubble in all of, for first, and usually for us as a the cats and the kid and the fiance, and then kind of like overall for the home. Makes me feel a lot of kept protected and taken care of and nurtured, almost, I would say, as well. And it feels safe is a good another word as well. And I do like that
Mhm.
personally. I don't think I do anything like too much more. Maybe there's an
Yeah.
element here to be added here and there sometimes, but like, I like to keep
Yeah.
it simple.
One thing I would suggest for people, and if you're seeing signs of negativity in your home, getting a feng shui reading can be so freaking valuable, or having people that can do like remote energy clearings and stuff for you,
Mm-hmm.
and then you like learn to do it yourself. All obviously ultimately you want to learn to do it yourself, but feng shui readings can be so freaking valuable. My friend Elizabeth, her Instagram, I'm gonna just plug it in right
Align and design,
here.
I think it is.
Align and design. Yeah. Align dot and dot design. Her name's Elizabeth, and she is who I would highly recommend. Everything she suggested for my house, change stuff immediately, like immediately. Like I had money blocks, I had all kinds of stuff going on, just heavy fatigue, blah, 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 blah. With everything that I implemented that she had said, my life just got so freaking smooth. And then obviously, ultimately, I'm monitoring the energy of the home at all
Mm.
times, inviting in the good and clearing out, smudging, all kinds of stuff.
Yeah,
One thing that
smudging
you
is good.
can, yeah, I do a lot of smudging. One thing people can do, I think we talked about this maybe in like the first episode or something, but um, putting bay leaves above your doorways, and then like you could do it ceremonially or whatever, like at the new moon or the full moon or however you intuitively feel to do it. And then after a while, once they've like, because people come in and out of your house, right? You come in and out of your house, like stuff attached. So you just ask that all the energy gets put in the bay leaves rather than come into your home. And then at the next full moon or whatever you intuitively decide, you just burn all those, obviously in a safe manner. Um, yeah. And then that way, that stops you from having, like, I think having clear energy in your home, it's like it helps you to have like a safe basis. Like you said, like when you invite in that energy, you feel safe. It helps you to have that safe basis so that you can go higher in energy, I feel like.
I think it's very important. I
And you can get all the stuff that you need to get done in your life. Like it stops from distracting.
yeah, I think it's really important to have that space if possible, and it kind of carries over to everything. Relationships, career. Taking action, creative projects, everything. Really good to have that
Mm-hmm.
space clean as possible.
And then also, like when your energy is clear in your home, I feel like you dream better too.
I haven't made that observation, but I think it makes sense to do that. Easier to
Have
sleep, easier to do stuff.
Have you had any cool dreams lately?
I think a couple.
With Neptune going retrograde, isn't that a big dream time thing?
A little bit, I would say. A little bit. For me, it's the windows that are really, I would say, if Neptune is making a good aspect with something, let's say Jupiter, that's a really good one.
Mm.
A big one. If Moon, Neptune, also aspect. A lot of that happening. And, eclipse time, really potent time for dreams. And full moons, new moons. Very
Mm-hmm.
potent time for let's say more direct, more clear, more prophetic dreams. And I
Do,
can probably add more, but like these are the
do you
main
ever
ones.
like do you ever take a question, like a question in your mind into your sleep?
I do my best to do that every night, but
Yeah.
sometimes the things that I'm asking are very big,
Yeah.
so it sometimes takes many months to get an answer. Literally,
Many moons.
many
Yeah.
moons. And it sometimes it even isn't the one or the way you want it
Mm.
to be, you know
Is it almost like it's like when you ask a big question like that, it's almost like the universe has to calibrate you so that you can actually come into the energy of receiving that answer?
I would say that's a big part of it. That's how a little bit I understand it. And sometimes, I would say it's even, hard to understand why, you're not answered immediately, or maybe it's too soon, maybe it's too big for you, or maybe you need to some sort of foundation, like you said, calibrate it. Sometimes a calibration is that you need some sort of knowledge or wisdom before in order to, grasp the actual
Yeah.
thing that you're asking.
I had such a cool dream lately. I dreamt that I was like walking down this road and it was all dark, like it was like nighttime. And I was walking, but like everywhere I went, there was light, like this golden light. And I was like, oh, that's cool. I thought it was street lamps or something. And then I saw these two creepy dudes, and they're both political figures. So I'm not going to name who they are, but they're political figures. And I was like, oh, weird. But I didn't feel the need to run away or anything like that. And they tried to like almost salesman me when I walked by, like, oh, buy this thing, buy this thing. And I was like, I didn't say anything. I didn't even acknowledge them, nothing. And then they were like super put out. And I just kept walking, and like the road kept changing. And I was like walking on these different cement blocks. And then this one area ended. And then I walked on this one for a while, and everything kept changing. But all around me was this golden light. And then just before I woke up, I realized that I was the golden light, that I was emitting this light. And I woke up and I was like, damn, that's cool.
Yeah, that the
It,
it seems like the feeling was there as well. The like the feeling of the golden light, and that, yeah, that adds a lot. Usually, I've seen. It's almost
Yeah.
like it's almost like you're downloading something energetically and you're bringing it in, and now you have like the golden light knowledge or the energy, whatever is there. I
Yeah.
love those dreams. They're amazing.
So
Yeah.
much. So much. I feel like that was the cookie for after the pain.
And sometimes it is, you've been through something, maybe you started to integrate, you started to release, started to grieve, started to let go. And actually, in order to receive this that you now received as an energetic gift, or,
Mhm.
you can package it in a lot of ways.
Do you write down your dreams too?
Oh, yes.
Yeah. That dream journal is valuable, hey? Man.
I think it's one of the most valuable things for a human being to do. I'm not, and this time I'm not even dramatic. I know I
Mhm.
can be sometimes dramatic, but this is so freaking important. Like, you
Do
learn
you
so
think of
much
yourself
about.
as dramatic?
I think of myself as extremely dramatic sometimes. I can express myself because I have Mercury. We talked a lot about the Mercury. I have Mercury in Leo, so sometimes I can, go, very big. But like, one of my favorite movies, books, Dune. Frank Herbert talks a lot about dreams in that book as well, and in that
Mhm.
movie there is a huge emphasis. And I think the quote in the book is, dreams are messages from the deep. And every time I read it, and every time I speak it, and every time I hear it, something just penetrates through me so vastly. And it's I think it's like almost like a huge gift we as humans. A lot of people appreciate it, but a lot of people, like, we as humanity, we've kind of like disregarded it. There's some kind of like psychological babble that goes on in our night times, but it isn't actually. This is a communication direct. Not all dreams, but a lot of dreams are very, very direct communication that you're having
Mhm.
with the universe, with your guides, with, with the realms of human consciousness. And this is important for us to interact with.
Yeah. I would like to share a prophetic dream kind of that I had. And I'm gonna see if I can remember all of it because it was a bit ago. But this was a while ago, and there was this guy that was sort of trying to pursue me, and I was sort of I didn't feel like there's nothing wrong with him. Really nice guy. I was like, something's off. So I had this dream that I was in a truck and I was in the passenger seat and I was parked on this road and there were all these fast cars driving and I was like, whoa, like these guys are driving too fast. All of a sudden this one car hits a cat and kills it and I'm like, oh my god. And then the other one, another car goes by, fast car drives by fast, and fast car drives by fast. um, and injures another cat. And so I'm like, oh my God, these guys are crazy. And then I was focusing on this one car and I was like, I hope that car flips. And boom, car flips. I was like, oh my God. And then that I had an awareness that I was aware within the dream. And then something else happened. I can't quite remember, but I got out and I was nurturing like the injured cat. And I got out of the truck. And then I was talking to this person the next day or 2 days later, and they were like, yeah, my dog killed a cat. And I was like, huh? Okay, I'll keep that to myself. And then 2 days later, we're on the phone again, having another conversation, and he goes, um, yeah, he was telling me a story about how he was driving a rear wheel drive car in the snow and was driving it and flipped it. And I was like, 2 for 2, nice.
Now I
I think
know. Now I
there
know.
was now I know that this dream was about you and it was not a dream of that I should continue this. And so it was, to me it was very valuable to find that out in my dreams because it just validated like that I was correct in my feeling and my intuition, and that also that I will get shown, and I can trust that I can see more than just today, which leads me into deja vu. I, as a kid, got deja vu nonstop, like nonstop. And I would always tell my mom, like, oh, mom, we've been here before. Like, I remember this, and then this happened, and this, and this. And I always remember being like, no, I've been here before. And yeah, so to this day, I feel that deja vu is a message from the deep that you're on the right path, that you've seen it before, that it's just a confirmation. It's like in my mind, it's like in video games, like a checkpoint. It's like a save game. How do you feel about deja vu?
Yeah, it's very similar, or 100% similar even. Like it's almost
Hundo
like a
P. Oh my
hundo,
God, a
hundo.
Hundo P.
There's a hundo p coming out of myself right now, but like,
Yeah.
but like it's a really, it almost feels like home, weird
Mm.
way. For me,
Mm-hmm.
it's kind of like relaxes you, and it's like, oh, okay, so now I'm on the right path. Maybe there were some doubts, or maybe, oh, should I do this or should I do that, blah blah blah. And
Mm-hmm.
now the deja vu comes in, they're like, huh, okay. So I'm moving in the
Yeah.
right direction, at least in the bigger scheme of things. The decisions we make are still can be a little bit here
Yeah.
and there, but like the bigger picture, I'm on the right path, and let's continue.
Yeah. I like that. So top tips for sleep, I feel like from the cosmic adults is like number one, keep a dream journal. Write down everything you dreamed in the morning. Even if you didn't dream, I still write down, I don't remember my dreams. I didn't remember. I still write that down because it's like I want to remember. So, and then going into your sleep with a question, asking to be healed in your sleep, asking for new energy to come in, to be doctored, for all your spirits and guides to be working on you while you sleep. And then also protection because you're potentially leaving your body. So making sure that your body's protected is super important. So that means that everyone has to have a cat.
I think cats are a pretty
Just
dope thing.
kidding. But I think calling in, your spirit team and everything before you go to sleep and making sure you're like wrapped in this beautiful egg of awesomeness so you feel secure and good going into sleep.
Yeah. I don't know if I have anything more to add. Sometimes if I really want to go to like astral things, or astral realms, I there's a good tip to do that, is to almost visualize yourself before falling asleep in some other place that you have been, and maybe it's something where close and somewhere you feel safe, but before you go to bed, or even fall asleep, when you're in bed, visualize yourself in that space. That is a pretty wild one, but it's a pretty deep one, and I like it. Um, has worked well.
That's so cool.
Mm.
I don't do a lot of that stuff. I think for a long time, I really didn't like my body. So I like wouldn't come back.
Mm.
So I never left because I was like, I know I won't want to come back.
I mean, that's like safety then. Safety first.
Safety first, kids.
Cosmic adults certified. Safety first.
Safety first. There's going to be a course coming up on safety.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Anything else? I feel like this is sort of wrapping up for
I
the
feel like
for the episode. I'm really feeling quite mellow. Are you feeling quite mellow?
I'm feeling mostly mellow. I feel like my health is deteriorating quite fast, so I think it's maybe a good time to start
Maybe a good time. Yeah, yeah.
wrapping it up.
What's the weather like?
You know, last week we spoke about the Neptune going retrograde. We're still kind of in it, so go back to the previous episode where we talked a little bit about Neptune going retrograde. So the energy is still here.
Mm-hmm.
Um, we are in a, let's say the new moon still obviously influences a little bit beginning of the week, but this is a weird week because obviously there is stuff going on, and always the moon is always moving, and we're building up to quite a big conjunction of Uranus and North Node, but maybe that's for next week to really dissect. But the biggest thing I think this week happening is like Mars is moving signs, and Mars has been in an aggressive, let's call it aggressive Aries, and more ambitious Aries, and more action oriented Aries. And Mars is the ruler of Aries, so both aggressive or more ambitious, courageous energies have come together for quite a while now. But now Mars is moving into a more earthly, more calm, more practical Taurus. And these energies, I wouldn't say don't match at all, but there are almost like different, very different kinds of energies, because Taurus likes things the way they are, likes things to be basically preserved. Let's put it that way. Very slow moving, very gradual moving, and Mars is completely the opposite. And when these two meet, it's kind of like, again, opposites meet, and our action taking, our courageous ambition action taking, gets dialed down. And now it's a matter of almost like keeping things working, keeping things moving along. And I wouldn't say that's a bad thing, but just to have to almost know that and have that in the back of your mind that we were quite courageous, a couple of weeks, month, maybe even a little bit more there. But now it's like the ambition and courageousness is a little bit dialed down. It's taking the actions gradually to keep things working. So I wouldn't be very much, let's say, the beginnings have already happened, the new beginnings have already happened, and now it's a little bit keeping the things working, keeping the machine rolling. You need to a little bit be aware of not moving at all, I would say, because that's a tendency of a little bit of that Mars in Taurus, just like very much keeping it as it is.
Mm.
We can put it that way.
Yeah, but I mean, if you're listening to the Cosmic Adults, likely you're on that spiritual hustle, which is 24/7.
Yeah, spiritual hustle. We are like the Gary V of spirituality, so we need to hustle all the time.
Yeah, we'll be at your next garage sale.
Like like eBaying something,
Flip
eBay
it, flip it, flip
flipping.
it. Oh my gosh. Wow. I feel like I'm very excited actually for this Mars to come out of Aries because for me, that's hard. Like, it's hard. I find it to be hard. I don't find it hard in myself. I find it hard in all the people around me and how a lot of people are unaware of their own stuff. And so, like, I got yelled at. I got, a bunch of stuff happened where I was like, man, this is just because you don't even know what's going on in the astrology and you're not even aware enough to even want to know why you're doing this. And I get a little irritated by that.
Sucks sometimes, yes, but
But
make
we
make better
we survive.
decisions.
We survive. We're here.
Such a big broad
Um
advice.
so this Are you have any more Astro stuff, or you wanna?
I mean, we are in now in retrograde land as well. So usually
Mm.
when we are in so much of retrograde land, which means, a lot of things are in retrograde. So things can move a little bit slower, and we're kind of reevaluating older things, and we're bringing back some older things, and we're working on those, and we're going back to the future, or sorry, back to the another movie reference, but I didn't mean that one. But we're going back to the past a little bit to reevaluate, to bring stuff back, and then things are like kind of like we want things to move quicker at times, but they're not. So it's a little bit like, okay, so you know, let them move slower and go back and make them better, and kind of like perfect them and work on them, because when the retrogrades, come out during autumn time, this is the time to really, because these are slower moving planets, and these need more work and they need more effort to be put in. So during autumn time, we can get the actual results as well, because usually when we want bigger results, we want bigger, gains. Sometimes we want bigger things to happen, and we want to achieve and create and make bigger things. It takes just longer time, and this is the time to kind of like understand that, and keep on working instead of rushing. I think that's it for this.
You wouldn't want to be Russian.
Like cosmic adults, you don't want to be Russian where the retrograde planets are abundant. I think we need that T-shirt.
Yeah, I think so. As far as intuitive guidance for the week, on the 3rd of July, there's a big call to express yourself. Sing, dance, do something physical that brings you joy, like some sort of outward expression. Um, the 4th of July, literally emotional damage. And I don't know if this will be coming in or being healed. I think that's up to you. 5th of July, open your heart. Um, see more, let these wounds go. It's time. It's time to really feel love and what that actually is. The 6th, candle flame. So the visual for this for me is one candle lighting up a dark room. It doesn't matter how big the flame is, it's still going to have light there. So, whatever that means to you. Thursday, the 7th of July is warmth. I think we're just moving into like a time of nurturing, a time of going inside, a time of like being very just feeling who you actually are, because you're not your traumas, you're not your triggers, you're not all of that. You are much, much bigger. The 8th is explore. That's a Friday. So, go have fun. Explore your mind, explore outside, do something cool. And also here in Canada, it's going to be hot, like hot, hot weather. So I think that's going to be really interesting. And then moving into the 9th is extreme. So we've got explore and then extreme. And I feel like these two are very tied together. It's like with extreme, it's sort of like you want to almost learn how to be neutral. It's like thinking of, some of the best advice we've ever received, like in the beginning of this episode. Well, another one that I really like is this too shall pass. That's about good things and about perceived negative things as well, because everything is going to pass. So it's much better to be neutral and walk forward neutral and just see everything as it is. Doesn't necessarily need to be viewed or judged as anything. And so when we take things to the extreme, the pendulum will always swing. So be easy on yourself.
I think that's another T-shirt. Be easy on yourself. I think that's good advice, guys. Be easy on yourself.
Yeah. I like it. Well, another hard day's work.
Yeah, guys. Awesome, awesome episode. Cats and
Oh,
dreams and advice.
well, yeah. Hope you enjoyed it because, as always, we love doing this. We really have fun. And I think I want to put out there like, if anybody who's listening to this podcast, if you guys want to be on our podcast and you want to be interviewed and you want to like sit and hang out with us, send us an email because we'd love to hear from you. It's cosmicadults@gmail.com, or send us an Instagram DM, whatever. We'd love, we're really wanting to start bringing in more people for interviews. Right.
Sure.
Obviously you've got some stuff going on, so we have to get through a little bit of a thing, but once we get there, then I think interviews and stuff we're gonna have more.
We're definitely
But
going to
yeah,
have more.
we want to talk to, really, if you feel like you'd be a good guest, let us know. We want to talk to you.
Yeah, sure. Okay, okay. I'm just joking. Of course, we want to bring more people on, and I'm moving, guys, again, and so it's a little bit of a stress, extra stress. But I'm doing my best. We're doing our best to move and get to a very nice permanent location for our family, and we're really hoping, or not hoping, we're really kind of excited about it. We're waiting for it, and it's very soon, and it's happening really soon. So
Mhm.
awesome.
It's gonna be good. All right, everyone, have a wonderful week. We'll talk to you soon.
Bye, guys.